Hey everyone, it's Tanya from Royal City Nursery, and today we are going to talk about how the heck do you clean up the green water that's in your pond. We've had a beautiful summer, it's been hot, it's been sunny, and for a lot of us, that means our ponds are going a little bit green. Not necessarily something to be worried about, but it is something you can control. So when we think about what that green stuff actually is, well, really it's algae. Whether it's growing on the rocks, you get that long stringy stuff, or it's actually floating in the water and it turns the water a little bit greenish or a little bit brackish. Algae is a single-celled plant that is outcompeted by absolutely everything on the face of the planet. So if we can get our good friends in there, so lots of water plants, our water lilies, water hyacinths, we even get some fish in there if you can, and don't overfeed your fish. And we also want to aim for about 60 to 70% of the pond being covered in shade. So whether that's shade outside and it's plants that are shading your surface, or it's shade from the inside, that will make a big difference. Some of the things you can use in terms of treatment, the one thing, I actually use two at home. One of them is this one. This is called Microbe Lift. And this one, when you open it up, kind of smells, well, it does smell a lot like rotten eggs. It smells like sulfur, and that's okay. This is a bacteria that actually feeds on algae. So this does two different things. One, it keeps a really good pH, so it actually coats the gills of the fish, which allows the fish to take in more oxygen. Awesome. The other thing it does is this is a bacteria. The reason why it smells is it's because it's a bacteria, and it digests all the leaves and the algae and the junk that's in your pond and helps to get that to a really happy ecosystem. So with this particular product, this is your long-term, hey, I'm going to deal with this in the for a better ecosystem. So we're double dosing for your first application, then once a week for the next 4 weeks, and once a week thereafter. So there's lots and lots of summer options. Once we get to fall, so once we hit about October, we're not going to use this one anymore. This is the spring and summer deal. You're going to flip to a fall version, and there's a fall version that has a bacteria that actually appreciates cold water. This is the warm water one. We want the cold water one for fall. So that's a little bit different. Some of the other things you want to take a peek at for now in the summertime. Again, this is your long-term, I'm going to eat the algae before it gets there solution. If you've got stringy algae in your pond, let's start with Dissolve. This is a powder, and this one you dose a little bit differently. Most of the things, so Microbe Lift and the other things we're going to talk about today, you dose based on the number of gallons in your pond. With this one, the Dissolve, you dose based on the size of your pond. So you figure out the surface area of your pond and you dose based on that. This one, again, it's a powder, gets sprinkled on top, and it's going to cause a couple of things. One, it actually helps digest the algae, which is fantastic. It also helps to get the algae off of the rock. So if you've got a stream or a waterfall or even a bubbling rock, you've got lots of green on it, then do a little bit of a sprinkle of this. You can do that every 10 days. You can also do that once a month. Depends on what your pond needs. But it does help, and the awesome part is that you can use these two products together, right? So this is the short term, holy cow, the party's in a week. This is the long term, I just need the ecosystem to be really happy solution. Some of the other things that we have here on the shelf, you're going to notice we have something called Clear. And Clear comes in a couple of different pumps as well as the concentrate. So this one here, the one in the silver bottle, is a concentrate that goes directly into something called an auto doser. So if you don't want to add something every month, no problem. You're going to hook up this little handy dandy dosing system. That bottle goes in here, and every time you get a little bit of a continuous application. So it's a really great way to help keep your pond clean while you're not home, especially if you're headed to the cottage a lot. When we think about Clear, what does this actually do? This helps deal with green, cloudy water. So this is something you use traditionally at the beginning of the pond season. So this would go in April, May, even early June. You can do that again once every couple of weeks without a problem. If you want something, once your pond has been cleaned and it's holding its own, and we're looking for some general maintenance, the in the summer version or in season version of Clear is called Maintain. And that Maintain, again, comes in a pump. The pump parts are awesome. So you're gonna figure out how many gallons of water you have in your pond, and you're gonna do one pump for every 5 or 10 gallons. Directions are on the back. Super, super simple. Why do we like Maintain? Because this helps reduce the green cloudy water. So if you've got long stringy algae, you want to use Dissolve. If you've got green cloudy water, we're using Maintain, right? So again, you can use these products together. This is the, oh my gosh, I need a quick fix version. And again, when we look at Maintain, it comes either in the pump or the silver bottle is the one that goes into this automatic dosing system. So again, keep it nice and simple. One of the things you need to keep in mind with all of these is you need to have a really good filter on your pump. So a lot of times pumps come with a little itty bitty sponge filter. Well, and that's great. That little filter helps keep out the twigs and the big things from clogging the pump. You may actually want to look at putting a larger filter on. So something like this. And this little thing that looks like a spaceship, there is actually a filter in here. Let me pop it open. There we go. There's a sponge in here. And this filter is meant, there we go, let's get it back together properly. You hook this up to your pump. So water goes in through here, comes out this nozzle, goes into your pump, and then out again. This filter is phenomenal for ponds and pumps that are doing up to about 1,000 gallons an hour. Anything less than that, no problem. Anything more than that, we need a different filter. What's super important in here is the sponge. Before you add anything, whether it's Maintain, the Microblift, or the Dissolve, clean your filters first. So take that sponge, rinse it out in some water, rinse it out in a garbage can, rinse it out underneath the hose, and then put it back. Because you want to get your filters clean first, so then when you do some of the additives, you actually have somewhere to collect it. Give it a few days, and then check your sponge filter again, and all you're going to do, super, super simple, we're going to take that sponge out. When this is gross and gooey and disgusting, you just can't stand it anymore, at that point, take it, rinse it underneath the water, underneath the hose, and put it back. You should have a tiny, tiny bit of gunk in your filter on a regular basis, but it should never impede the actual water flow. If you notice that your water flow is getting kind of tight and small, it's time to clean your filter. If you find you're doing this every day, every 2 days, your filter's not big enough. You need a bigger filter. So hopefully that helps. Again, midsummer, we want to think green water, not a big deal. We can deal with this. There's a few different things you can do. And come on in. We'd love to help you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.